Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are watching Destiny Shapers with Sheila Noy. We bring you greetings from Chicago and Ghana. We hope everybody is doing very well and having a blessed Sunday. Last 2 weeks, we started looking at the golden nugget from the richest man in Babylon. We had our prof here, and he's back to share more insight from the book with us. So, welcome everybody. We are Destiny Shapers. We learn as we go. Last week, Prof said something. He said he's a life learner, and that is what we all want to be. So, welcome, Professor Emmanuel Otoo. How are you doing?
Oh, doing great by the grace of God.
We thank God. I hope you are fine. Your husband, your wife, and your children are all doing well. Before we start, I'm sure there may be people watching you for the first time. So, if you wouldn't mind, can you share a little bit of your background with us?
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Professor Emmanuel Otoo, a research scientist at CSIR Crop Research Institute of Ghana. I'm a chief research scientist, that's the highest rank of our system, and a professor teaching research methods and biometry at the Council for Scientific and our graduate school, that is CCST. And as I said the other time, I'm a student of life, and I'm getting more and more fascinated by that. So it is a pleasure and honor to be here this evening to continue with our discussions on the richest man in Babylon that we started about 2 weeks ago. So I welcome all viewers and hope that once again we can interact and exchange some knowledge from the beautiful book that was written 6,000 years ago. And the, yes, it was written 6,000 years ago, and it has been touted as the go to book for insurers and bankers. And a sure book that if you apply to your life, definitely you change your lifestyle. So, by way of introduction, that is me.
Awesome, awesome.
I,
We are so happy and
yeah.
blessed to have you, Prof. And we know we'll learn more from you today. And I'm sure people will be like, what did we even talk about last week? So can you do a quick recap before we start? Maybe there's somebody who joined today for the first time and want to know what we talked about. And I will also encourage everybody to go back and watch part one, the previous video. I know there are a lot to discuss and a lot, so you can do a quick recap for us before we get started. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now, a quick recap of what we did 2 weeks ago. We learned from the very onset that our prosperity as a nation depends upon the personal financial prosperity of each one of us as individuals. And we indicated that this is what is missing in most African countries. We, the nation, don't seek the individuals to be rich for the nation to be rich. We assume that the nation should be rich, but how can it be rich if the individuals are not rich? This goes
I think there's a little bit of technical hiccup. Um, we hope to have
Yeah,
Prof soon. Thank you.
yeah. You should seek your individual members becoming prosperous, and then you, the organization, can also be prosperous. We also noted that success means accomplishment as a result of our own effort and abilities. And so it means that we need to put in an effort, and then based on our capability, we can achieve something that we can describe ourselves as being a success. Again, noted that proper preparation is a key to our success. And our art can not be wiser than our thoughts.
Hmm.
You are who you think, and your thinking can not be wiser than your understanding. It's your understanding that will formulate your thinking. So what you do will definitely be based on what you understand, what you think, and you can never be wiser than your thinking. And we also hinted that in some part of the world, to even acquire wealth is looked down as something evil. They don't understand the principles by which we can be rich. So we often assume that you can only be rich if you do a dubious thing. And these presentations are very important to me because it's the source of corruption for all the things that we are suffering from. People are corrupt just because they don't know how to be rich.
Hmm.
And so it is important that we continue discussing. We went further to say that to acquire money, to keep, and to make their surpluses earn for more for you is the basis for making money. To acquire it, keep it, and make the excesses of it work for you. That is all that the money making is about. And we emphasize the fact that Babylon became the wealthiest city in the ancient world because its citizens were the richest people of their time.
Hmm.
They appreciated the value of money. They practiced sound financial principles in acquiring money, keeping money, and making the money earn more for them.
Hmm.
And we put it in the context that if you look at Babylon, actually, what they had was fertile soils and a river, and the fact that they were ruled by successive kings who were deemed to be wise. These were educated people, very enlightened, and so far as history goes, they were the first engineers, astronomers, mathematicians, financiers, and they had their written language. But even the fertile soils, you realize that they were living in a place that was very dry and hot. But then few people had a vision, and their vision was to turn it into a fertile ground. And they did that. We said that the glory of Babylon has faded away, but its wisdom has been preserved for us. And we pointed out that if you look at the Babylon War alone, Babylonian War, famed war, it was 160 feet high, the equivalent of a height of a modern 15-story office buildings. And the total length is estimated as between 9 to 11 miles. So wide was the top that 6 horses can ride side by side. And they confirmed and concluded that money is plentiful for those who understand the simple rules which govern its acquisition.
Hmm.
In our parlance, we say that money has wings. Money has wings. And basically, all that we are saying is that it's one thing acquiring it, it's another thing maintaining it, and even letting it work for you. But the truth of the matter is that money is governed today by the same laws that controlled it when prosperous men were walking in the streets of Babylon 6,000 years ago. And so we want to ask a very simple question. Most often, there is something we call fate,
Hmm.
and we have something called destiny. Have we thought about them? Deeper analysis of them. Fate is saying that it's predetermined, destined future is concrete and determined by cosmos, and destiny depends on our choices in life. So if we understand these two concepts, it's very important because it helps us to appreciate the discussion that we are going to talk about. We also
Hmm.
learned a lesson from the character of Akkad, who is the richest man in Babylon. We saw that he was a humble man, very accessible, and that when he became rich, his friends could still go to him, talk to him just as old days. We also realized that he was a very shrewd, very smart guy. Because when the rich man Agamish came to him and offered him work to do and couldn't do it, he smartly placed a bet with Agamish. Let me have this evening to do all the work that you are requesting for, but in return, you will teach me how to be rich. So at that point, even though Akkad was not rich, he knew that there must be something that people will have to do to be rich.
Hmm.
And probably that is what he didn't know. So he was looking for it.
Hmm.
And indeed, as we highlighted the other time, most rich people or most successful people would like to tell their story.
Mhm.
So if you avail yourself, you will have it. And I like this quotation from the book. But too often, youth think that age knows only wisdom of days
Hmm.
that are gone,
Hmm.
and therefore profits not. They think that if you are old, you are only old because you've lived more days, and that therefore you know the wisdom of the days gone by.
Hmm.
And because of that, they fail to profit from such wonderful wisdom that they can acquire from the elderly.
Powerful.
But he says, remember that the sun that shines today is the sun that shone when your father was born,
You're
and
right.
will still be shining when your last grandchild shall pass into darkness.
You're right.
So, meaning that the sun will be there.
Hmm.
It was there then, it
Hmm.
is there now, and it
Hmm.
will be there. We also learned that wealth actually is like a tree. It grows from a tiny seed,
Hmm.
then gets different branches. So, if well nurtured, it becomes a mighty tree that people can shelter under.
Hmm.
And I remember I got into trouble because you know our black tax.
Mhm.
Black tax, the once you start working, your uncle, your auntie, your friends, their
Hmm.
mother, their grandchild, also they
Hmm.
all come and eat from your place.
Hmm.
And one time, uh, I got into trouble when I told them that you see,
Hmm.
if you plant a tree, allow the tree to grow and have a canopy,
Hmm.
then we can all shelter under the tree, under the canopy.
Hmm.
But if you plant the tree and you all come trying to sit under the tree whilst the tree is just growing, you will kill the tree.
Oh my God. That's a
So
sad.
that is yes. This is the truth. So let the trees grow so
Hmm.
that we can shelter under it.
Powerful.
For to be rich, you first have to learn to live with less than what you are able to earn. This came out when we discussed the other time that you should learn to live below your means.
Hmm.
lest you learn to seek advice from those who were competent through their own experiences to give it. Anybody can give you advice, but have they experienced what they are telling you, or they are just reading and telling you?
Mm.
And I'll tell you an interesting lesson I learned in my quest to know in life. About 2 weeks, just last week, we go to work, come home late, and then uh, my daughter, the hair is all grown. We needed to barb the hair, and every time we come home, it's late, so we can't do it. We can't go to the barbering shop. And I remember that I was a very good, competent barber
Hmm.
years gone by. So I told her that don't worry, I will just do the barbering in the house. Then she asked me simple question. Daddy, have you barbed my sister's hair before? I said no. Have you barbed my elder brother's hair before? I said no. Then he told me, I trust you as a father, but I cannot trust you as a barber.
Oh my goodness. This is the daughter of the prof.
I look at his face and I said, my friend, join the car, we are going to barb your hair. So if even the kids will not entrust their hair
Hmm.
to their trusted father,
Hmm.
why do we have to trust our decisions to
Hmm.
somebody who is not experienced in what he's telling us?
Powerful.
And then the last thing we learned before we went to the kiosk of the Olympus was that when you gold in your pocket, it's nothing.
Hmm.
It's nothing unless it start working for you. So we learned that lesson, and then we decided that, so what do we do? Even as now our purses are lean, how are we going to cure such a disease? And we say that we start by first fattening our purse.
Hmm.
We went through controlling the expenditure,
Mm-hmm.
making our gold multiply, guide our treasures from loss, make profitable investments, secure future income, and then increase our ability to earn.
Hmm.
These were delved into very deep the last episode. So you can go back and look at the part one, and you will have a complete expansion on all these points that we've listed. But for
Awesome.
today,
Mm-hmm.
we'll move to the next two chapters. And if there is time, go to the last one.
Okay.
And the next chapter is the goddess of good luck.
Mm-hmm.
And just as I said the other time, the book is so well written
Hmm.
that it's difficult sometimes trying to put your words in there. It says it as it is supposed to be.
Hmm.
So in those days, they try to impugn that everything is a god or a goddess. So the question came up: what about good luck? What about it? Are some people born to have good luck? And for that matter, uh, they will be there, and then things will be happening for them. So let's reflect on good luck. When we say luck, it presupposes that something happens to us without us making any effort.
Hmm.
See? So sometimes we think that, oh, uh, I should be rich, maybe because of my fine face, and somebody should be poor because he is ugly. Is that the truth?
Hmm.
So let's look at luck. He started by trying to find out from them if they have by chance seen anybody who has become so successful out of luck.
Hmm.
And luck is defined as success or failure with no effort, as I already said. So the question is, can anybody be successful because of luck? If we say that to be luck is success or failure without any effort, and for that matter, good luck can cause us to be rich. What it shows, it says is that we can be rich without doing anything. And I like to liken it to a footballer who was running on the field of play. After running many uh, uh, miles or kilometers or whatever, somebody hit the ball and the ball hit his forehead and entered the net. Did he make any effort in scoring the goal? Is it a luck that the ball hit the forehead and entered? Have you forgotten that the guy was moving on the field and not
Hmm.
moving only? He
Hmm.
was moving strategically to get the ball at a place where he can shoot and score.
Powerful.
So if by chance the ball just came and hit him and entered the net, he has made a lot of effort, a lot of work to get to the point where he was before the ball hit him and entered the net. So can you say that it's good luck or it's hard work that got him? And even it becomes interesting because people think that, oh, fates have been fated by the powers that be, that I will be rich, so I'll be rich. Let's look at that. A beautiful example was given where somebody was going to board the bus, got there late, and as he was waiting for the next bus, a spouse came around, somebody came around, he started talking to the person, and then they ended up being a couple.
Hmm.
Was it fate that brought them there? Or it was just by chance that they met? Let's think about it.
Hmm.
And I know that we have answers to these things. We know from our discussions that the Babylonians were shrewd men and keen thinkers, and they, as we indicated that time, they had a temple of learning. They believed that wisdom is not in one man's head, and for that matter, we should have a place where we meet as equals. What we say at that point in that room, whether you are the president or whatever, once you enter the temple of learning, we are the same. The humblest of slaves could dispute with impunity the opinions of a prince of the royal house. So they realize that if we don't get a level playing field to learn, people will be sort of cannot freely express themselves because of some other reasons, and the truth may not come. And so the the temple of learning was created. So after asking, inquiring about them, whether anybody has seen luck anywhere, unfortunately, none of them. So they concluded that luck normally comes at the gambling table. And then he said, oh, really? Why is it that it comes to the gambling table and not anywhere else? But they realized that nobody has ever been to the gambling table and come home with money that was able to keep or anything. And in fact, if you look carefully. I will tell you something that you shouldn't tell anybody that I told you. I remember when I was young, around 11, I was a very good draft player, and subsequently I became a national chess player. So during those days, I played draft for 3 years. Nobody could beat me, and people were
Hmm.
traveling all over the country, coming to Cape Coast to play with that small boy. So I thought I was wise. So one day, my mom sent me, and then I saw these tricksters.
Hmm.
Locally we call them kokowundi. And what they were doing was they had a rope that they will fold and ask you to put a stick where you think it will lock the
Mhm.
stick.
I think I remember that.
Yes. And if you do, they had all these goodies out there for you.
Mm-hmm.
So be thinking that I was smart. I look at it carefully, and they will let one of them put the thing there for the rope to tie it, so you see it. So I saw that no, the way the guy was doing this one there is cool for me. I can do it. I went and they pulled the string, and I was outside the string.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe it because I was too certain. So I went the second time.
Hmm.
Then I realized that I lost again.
Hmm.
I didn't go for the third one, but I kept on thinking about it. And I realized that the rope has been rigged. They have a way of folding. If they want one of them to put the stick in, they fold it differently from when you are folding. And
Mm-hmm.
when they fold, nowhere, all the loops that you are seeing, if you put the stick there, the string will pass it. So I learned my lesson a hard
Hmm.
way. So don't tell anybody. But in my search, I realized that you see the lotto and all those things, they have rigged the system heavily against you.
Hmm.
They've rigged it heavily against you to the extent that there's no way you are going to win.
Hmm.
If I remember my maths very well, you realize that when you are playing the lottery in Ghana here, we have 90 numbers and you are picking five of them.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to pick five of them. The probability that you can pick a number that is your number for every draw of it is 1 over 90,000. 90, sorry. So for the next number to come, it's also 1 over 90. For the next number to come, it's also 1 over 90. So for you to get all the five, it's 1 over 90 times 1 over 90 times 1 over 90 times 1 over 90. So just see the odds against you. And if you look at some of the well known lotteries out there, we have some lottery like Christmas Godo.
Hmm.
It's 1 is to 100,000.
Hmm.
We have mini lotto of Poland, which is about 1 is to 850,560. And if I should go further, Irish lotto,
Hmm.
1 is to 10 million. 10 million, oh,
Hmm.
the odd that you will win. So that is how the system has been rigged against you. So most often, the system is 5 out of 6 in favor of the one who is operating it. So obviously, we cannot make any money going into the lottery.
Mm.
And then
Powerful.
when we, yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. However, if we start, so after long discussions about the gaming table, I can ask them, what if we are traders? Is it
Mm.
not natural to conclude that we are into a profitable transaction when we sell something rather than it's good luck that has made us to sell? And they all agreed that they can agree halfway that yeah, once we sell and they buy, maybe it's luck that made the person come to your shop to buy. You see? And then he was saying, okay, I got up in the morning. I could have said that, okay, let me rest a bit. But I walked from my house, came and opened my stores, advertised my goods, and then somebody walked into my shop to buy my goods. How can you say that it's luck? So, from all the talk, the lengthy talk that went on, we came to appreciate the fact that opportunity happens. And it's only when opportunity is taken that we can say that maybe luck has visited us. So it's when preparation meets opportunity that is when success happen, and that is when we can say that maybe we've been lucky. And interestingly, there was an opportunity that I talked about the other time where a father's friend decided that um, I have a brilliant idea. I can convert all this desert into fertile lands. And unfortunately, he had no money. He had no money, so he told the father. The father went around telling friends, if you have money, my son is going to enter into this venture. If you buy shares in it, definitely you'll get money. Most of them gave reasons why they cannot be part of that venture. Past reasons, present needs, and all that were all said. A man went to the son telling him, this is opportunity standing before you. If as a father I have money, I would have done that, but I don't have the money. So you that are swimming in some cash, why don't you invest in it? He said, no. The guys converted all the desert into fertile lands and started selling them. And come and see how rich they became. That was when he was ready to go and invest.
Mm.
And so at that time, the people were so rich that they don't need anybody's money. So he pointed out that there is something called procrastination. Procrastination. That is a thief of time.
Mm.
And so if you procrastinate, know that success will be far away from you and the goddess of good luck may not visit you. And as, he told another story of uh, a guy who was coming to buy from the city. He came in late, and just as he came, he saw another person who has arrived late with animals to sell. And the man was told that the wife was not well, so he needed to go back immediately. So he wanted to sell the sheep, reduce price. But at that time, there was no light. So the guy could not tell how many animals were there.
Mm.
So he said that no, wait till tomorrow, then I will see the animals and then know their condition and then I will be able to buy. Then the man said, look, I have several slaves. I have one that I trust so much. Just by give me part of the money, I will go. The slave will stay. And when you look at the animals during the day and it's okay for you, pay him. The man said, no. So ultimately, the man asked the slave to stay behind and then sell the animals the next day. The next day, people came to the market, there were no animals. So the animals that came were selling about four times the original price. And this good opportunity eluded all of them because they procrastinated. So Akkad told them that I became rich by taking opportunities, and my golden rule was to make payment immediately when I'm
Hmm.
convinced that the bargain is wise.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that if I go home and I start thinking about it, I might not do it. Therefore, as a protection against my own weakness, you see, he knew he had that weakness. So I do make a prompt deposit thereon. So if he cannot even pay all, he will deposit some amount to commit him. And he said that good luck fled from procrastination in both instances.
Hmm.
And I was learning from someone who has become rich, and he was saying that, you see, his mother in law and the father in law wanted to be rich. And so instead of them coming to his classes free, he asked them to pay. And they were like, ah, what do you mean? You are married to our daughter and then we should pay before we come to classes. And he said, it's only you follow only when you pay.
Hmm.
When it costs you, that is when you be serious. So at that point in time, they confessed to him that indeed it's because they paid. That was why they continue coming, because beginning they felt that it's too much of a discipline that they cannot do.
Hmm.
But they continued, and ultimately they came out of poverty.
Hmm.
And he concluded that all the days of his life, he has seen that no matter who you are, opportunity will come to you. It's only those who grab such opportunity that are able to satisfy their gratification of their deepest desires
Hmm.
of being rich. And he said that those eager to grasp opportunities for their betterment do attract the interest of the good goddess.
Hmm.
So good luck will only visit you when you are eager to grab opportunities. And she is anxious to add to those who please her.
Hmm.
And men of action please her best.
Powerful.
And so we'll conclude by this chapter by saying that indeed we can believe that there is good luck. We can also disbelieve that there is good luck. But the truth of the matter is that the goddess of good luck favors men of action.
Hmm. Powerful.
The goddess of good luck favors the men of action. So if you want to be lucky in life,
Hmm.
you'll be action man, as we say in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
The next
Hmm.
chapter, the next chapter we'll look at is the five laws of gold.
Hmm.
Five laws of gold. Gold here represents wealth. And Akkad opened that discussion by asking them, A bag heavy with gold or a clay tablet carved with words of wisdom. Which one will you choose?
Hmm.
The gold is already here. It's in the bag. It's heavy. You can feel it. And then there are words written on tablets, supposedly wise words. Which one will you take? And almost everybody there was like, ah, the gold is here. Hmm? Why do I have to go and take some words on the tablet and start learning them before I can make gold and then that kind of thing? So he smiled. One of the participants gave that, he smiled and said that, do you hear the wild dogs out there in the night? They howl and wail because they are lean with hunger.
Hmm.
So when there is hunger, they start making noise. Yet feed them, and what do?
Hmm.
They fight and shout.
I think we are having a little bit of technical hitch, but thank you all for joining. Sister Harita, yeah, we are in the middle of it, so you haven't missed a lot. So thank you for being here. And as Prof is, I don't know if it's from my side or from Prof's side, but we will get through it. We have finished chapter 4, which is Meet the Goddess of Good Luck. So we said men of action are favored by the goddess of good luck. You need to grab the opportunities as they come and take action so you are able to succeed. Am I here? Can somebody say hi so I know you haven't lost me too? And I'm hoping Prof will join us shortly. So we have to take the opportunities. And a while ago, we talked about opportunities. And it's interesting that this book also talks about taking the opportunities as they come, planning and making good use of them. So thank you all for coming. Okay, so hopefully Prof will join us very shortly. But we have seen that if we are looking at good luck versus hard work, can somebody type in who will win? Is it the one that is depending on good luck or hard work? Welcome back, Prof. I'm
Thank you very
asking
much.
us to, okay, let's see if somebody answered. Okay,
Okay.
so I was asking that
Yeah.
if we have a competition between good luck and hard work, who will
Yeah.
win? Is it good luck or hard work? I need one person to type it in and then Prof will continue from there. And Prof, you may have to fix your light a little bit whilst we are waiting. Can somebody type in who will win? Is it good luck or hard work?
Hmm.
I don't have anybody. I know we have about 9 people. I think hard work. And we just talked about the fact that success or failure, when we talk of luck, it's success
Mhm.
or failure without any effort. So there's no way if you are at where you are, you will win. So Emmanuel said, Emmanuela said, hard work. Sister Christine said you need both. Mr. Henry said hard work. I think that those who said hard work have won. Good luck or no, good luck can't take you anywhere. If you are depending on luck, there are chances that it will never happen. But as destiny shapers, We want to make sure we are living in our destinies. That can only happen when we take action. So thank you all for joining. We'll get back to Prof if you are ready.
Yes, I'm having a challenge with my lighting. I don't know why, but then
Okay. We can
we
still
can.
hear you, so that should be fine.
Yes, yes. Okay. So, what our friend was saying is that if you, so it is with human beings, ignore wisdom and you waste the gold.
Mm,
On the morrow, they will wail because they have no more gold. And gold is reserved for those who know its laws and abide by them. You see, from there, it's clear that, as we said the other time, not everybody can handle wealth. Not everybody can handle wealth. We need to learn the principles so that we can handle wealth. And in those days in Babylon, just as it is in many customs, you realize that the father will build the fortune and hand it over to the son.
mhm,
But Akkad didn't believe in that custom. He called his son and told the son, I know that normally I'm rich, so you shouldn't be worried about what you'll be eating in the future. But I will only give you my fortune if you can prove to me that you know how to handle money wisely. And so he gave him a tablet with all the wisdom written on it, and then gave him also the bag of gold, and asked him to go live his life, and then in 10 years time come and give account as to what he's been able to do with his life. He came after 10 years and gave his report. And it's interesting, he made certain interesting uh, comments or describe situations that he went into. As he journeyed, he met confidence tricksters,
hmm,
not knowing they know that normally people on that route may be having money. So they came in with all sort of tricks. They sent him into the betting hall, telling him that they know the horse that is going to win because they their friend has done all the necessary arrangement for their horse to win. So bet on it, not knowing if these are agents of the horses. So he ended up losing that money.
hmm,
Another equally bitter experience came. Another young man coming to him, bragging to him that he's very rich and that he has come to see an opportunity, that he needs to take that chance, and that unfortunately his money is not here. So if he can acquire a store with all the goods in there, then they will start selling. They will make a lot of money. So he will go back and bring his money and then repay them. So partnership, not knowing that was a trick. So at the end of the day, the guy never went. Finally, when he entered the shop, he realized that most of the things there, he cannot even dash it to anybody. And so the beauty of it is that because he was brought up properly, he endured the difficulties. And it was when all these monies were gone that he decided to look at the tablets that the father gave him. And according to him, I learned by, and I'm quoting him, I learned by heart each law and determined that when once more the goddess of good fortune smile upon me, I would be guided by the wisdom of age, not
Hmm.
by the inexperience of youth.
Wow.
And so we have the privilege of this evening hearing the 5 laws of gold, the 5 laws that made Aka's son, Nomasi, successful after losing the bag of gold. The very first one is, and I like the way that it was written, so sometimes I would like to read it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Gold cometh gladly and increasing quantity to any man who puts by not less than 1/10 of his earnings to create an estate for his future and that of his family. This is talking about what? A tenth of your earnings. And last week we had a very lengthy discussion on tithing, where I told you that mine started when I saw the wisdom in the tithing. Apart from all the protection God will give to me, making my cup overflow with goodness, I saw that if it is true that you put a tenth aside and putting that uh, paying tithe, the rest of the money, I can still not feel the 1/10 that I've already given to God. Then why don't I put a tenth to myself? That one uh, is not for anybody. I'm not using it for food, no dress, no anything. It's my money, the money that I have acquired. And I remember when we had the discussions, Akkad said that it is only when he learned to put a tenth of his money aside as his to keep that he started the journey towards richness.
Hmm.
And if you take the
I hope we are not losing Prof again. Um, so here is the quote. I found the road to wealth when I decided that a part of all I learned or all I earned was mine to keep, and
to keep,
so will you. Okay, then we have it covered.
definitely. So that is the first law. That's the first law of making money. Minimum, not less than a tenth of your earnings, you have to keep for yourself to build future estates. And the second point, good liberate diligently and contentedly, for the wise owner who finds for it a profitable employment, multiplying even as the flocks of the field. So what he's saying is that gold, in this case wealth, will work very hard for you and do so happily for the wise man who will find him a profitable investment, profitable work to do. Your wealth will be very happy to increase and do so happily, even as you find some useful work for him to do. So, just as we said earlier, gold in your purse is nothing,
Hmm.
it has to be working for you, and it will do so happily if you use it wisely. And then the third law says that gold clings to the protection of the cautious owner who invests it under the advice of men wise in its handling. Have I?
Hmm.
That gold will stick to you like glue if you will be cautious enough to invest it in things that those who are doing it know what they are about. So, if, for example, you are going to invest in oil, who are working on the oil, what do they know about oil? What is their history? And then the wisdom that my small girl told me comes into play. You are a trusted father, but I cannot trust you
Hmm.
to barb my hair for me. So you have to find wise counsel from the people who are doing the investment. Check them to see whether they know what they are about. Who are they dealing with? What principles do they live by? Are they people who get money and start squandering it on women and all sort of unnecessary things? Sorry, women, oh. Or they are serious people who want to also build a future for their families and understand that for someone to give his money to you, he's trusting you with his most precious thing.
Hmm.
And so you should ensure that it is well kept, well handled, so that it can multiply for you to also have some. And the fourth rule says that it will slip away from the man who invested in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar,
Hmm.
which are not approved by those skilled in its keep. So if there is any business that those who are supposed to control it come and tell you that, Madam, in this business, you cannot do this. Please listen to them. Listen to them. Because it's not for nothing that they are supposed to be skilled in that enterprise. And then the last one says that good flees from the man who would force it to do impossible things,
Hmm.
who followed the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers, or who trusted to his own inexperience and romantic desires in investment. So if you look at the rules that the father gave to the son, it's interesting, isn't it? As we say, common sense. Common sense means that if you put a tent there, you can create wealth, and from there, you can build your wealth to a higher level. Common sense dictates that if you invest in profitable business, your money will multiply. Common sense dictates that if you are a cautious owner and you invest under the guidance or advice of people who know what they are about, your wealth will stay with you. Common sense also tells us that for the man who invests it in businesses or purposes for which he is not familiar or which are not approved by those knowledgeable in it, will lose their wealth. And gold flees from the man who will force it to impossible things. So, these were the laws that the father wrote on tablet and gave it to his son and told him that this is more than the bag of gold that I've given you. And so the father could boldly say that because I learned these 5 laws in my youth and abided by them, I have become a wealthy merchant. Not by some strange magic did I accumulate my wealth. Wealth that comes quickly goes the same way. Wealth that stay to give enjoyment and satisfaction to its owner comes gradually because it is a child born of knowledge and persistent purpose. It's a child born of knowledge and persistent effort. And I was telling you about when I made some coins out of my fish sales. They were weighing heavier than the papers in my pocket. So these are the laws. You see, these are the laws, and as we said, common sense.
Hmm.
Common sense. We all know. We can all tell someone, but can we be disciplined enough to do this? So normalcy came back from where he sojourned and gave report of what he's been able to do, and his riches were there for the father to see. And so the father gladly bequeathed bequeathed his wealth to the son. You see, he bequeathed his estates and everything to the son because the son is now well versed in the principles of making getting money, keeping it, and letting it grow for you. And he made very interesting observation that whenever you get money, many will come, many will come, many will come who like to share your riches. I remember somebody had a problem in US because he was working with a friend and the friend went and staked lotto.
Hmm.
And when he won the thing, the guy took him to court that he should give him half of it.
Hmm.
And the guy said, but I staked the lotto, you didn't stake some. He said, no, I feel I have a right to it because I was working with you when you took it. And many will come to you having rights on your money.
Hmm.
They will all come to you having rights on your money. But the beauty is that, as a friend just this evening told me, that if they are going to invest so that in future they will not come again, we are all for it.
Hmm.
Let's build them so that they can stand on their own.
Hmm.
Let's stop giving them fishes.
Hmm.
Let's teach them how to fish. We'll be doing them a lot of good.
Hmm.
I had a friend who always said that I'm the only poor person who has built his house, a mansion. And I asked him why. He said, I don't have money lying down, as we say here. Yet I have a beautiful mansion and all those things. But then people think that because he has been able to build, he
Yep.
has a lot of money. So
Yep.
their demands come in folds.
Hmm.
It come one after the other.
Mm-hmm.
A mother will come, and the daughter of the mother will come,
Hmm.
and the son of the man he will come, and the daughter's friend will come,
Hmm.
all thinking that you are wealthy enough.
Mm-hmm.
too. So this evening, this is what I wanted to share with you on making, keeping, and letting your money work for you so that you can improve upon your life.
Powerful. Powerful. Thank you so much, Prof. I know everybody that is listening has learned a lot. I have learned a lot. I remember at Dunkonofin, one day I was in school, early morning. I had arrived in school to teach, and I was told somebody was looking for me. I came out, and there was a man with a gallon in his hand. And he told a nice story that his car got spoiled somewhere and they are stuck. They've been there 3 days. But my mom told him about me from Mankasim. He's a trickster, I didn't know. And that I should
Yeah.
give him money and he will go get the car repaired and then come back and give me back my money. I walked with this man innocently back to my house, far away from
Wow.
the school, and took my small teacher money for, for this man, and that was the end of it. The day he said he will come back, I looked and looked, and then I realized, oh, I've been tricked. And as I'm sitting here, I've been tricked by so many people. And now I'm like, what was I thinking of? But I realize if you have a good heart, see, if you have
Yeah.
a good heart, people try to uh, capitalize on it. But now knowledge has come. I know I'm not alone. I know there are so many people watching and will be watching later that will be like, oh my goodness, I have to stop doing this and that. Those black tax you talked about. And I
Hmm.
like somebody captured it so well when you said, I don't know if I can get it again. It said, let the trees grow so we can shelter under them. If you see somebody in your family doing well, maybe they are struggling and making some sacrifices here and there. If we can allow the
Yeah.
person to come up, it will get to a point then the person will be in a situation to help you better. But where everybody is coming with their cup in their hands, a little here, a little there, how are we going to put that 1/10 aside, and how are we going to build on, invest so it can become more, for us to even help others? So I'm hoping we are learning, even as we are telling ourselves that we have to start putting something aside. We are also helping people to teach them how to fish, as you correctly put it, instead of giving them the fish all the time. If somebody wants to work, fine, help the person. But while you give the money to the person, he comes back with another story, and this they keep coming with the same story. Then you know that you need to move on and look for something better to do with that money. So I hope everybody has been blessed with this wonderful discussion, and we will come back again. If next week, the following week, we'll be back with Prof to share more insight. I have been reading this book like my second Bible, and I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I know this and that? It's a learning, and then I know it's a learning time for us all, and it's not too late. If you are younger than some of us, you are blessed that you are hearing about this book. Go and get a copy, and you can also listen to it on YouTube. So God bless you all for joining us again. And please share the videos, subscribe to our channel. Help us to grow this tree. Help us to grow this tree, okay? And if you want to come on and share your story, discuss something with us, we are available. Just email me at stnoy at gmail.com, or you can also WhatsApp me +17733870894. Subscribe and share and invite others to listen and subscribe. Okay, back to Prof. Prof, share your final words with us, and also tell us how you want us to contact you.
Okay, thank you very much. So I will conclude by I wanted to. Unfortunately, the lights couldn't help me, but I wanted to share a beautiful song with you, which
Oh,
unfortunately uh, I couldn't. But then the words go like that: step and jar will step a while. What that all that it means is that take the step, and when you take the step, God will do the rest. You
amen.
see, and don't look back.
Amen. Don't look back. Take the step one
The
day at a
rest.
time.
So now that we have the principles with us, let's go back, learn them.
Hmm.
Look at the part one.
Yep. So we'll go back and listen to part one. You can also listen to the book, the audio book on YouTube. Okay. You can also buy the book. You can also just Google and you can even find the PDF copy of the book. I'm trying to help or wait for Prof to come back. But the important thing is as we are working, let's put some money aside. Let's not eat our eggs before they hatch. Let's put something aside, 1/10. Don't say, oh, when I retire, I will get the social security. That social security is a peanut. We've all made a mistake and we are all learning now. Let's start now. It's not too late to give yourself 10 years and start building on that. And don't forget, procrastination is an enemy to our success. So don't keep saying, oh, this year I have this and that to do, so I will start putting 1/10 aside next year. Start now. Start now. So thank you all for joining. I'm trying to see if Prof will join us again before we go. Adriana said, thank you both. God bless you. I know, I'm sure this is one of Prof's children. And I also had Emmanuel here, another daughter of Prof. Prof is blessed with wonderful children. Prof is back.
Uh-huh. So you can contact me on Otoo Emmanuel, Otoo Emmanuel, one word, at gmail.com. And you can also get me on WhatsApp. The Ghana code is +233. Then you have 244 527 425. Yeah, it's on the screen. So you can contact me. But let's learn together.
Hmm,
Let's learn together. And within 5 years, we will come back and
hmm,
we'll tell our story. We would
yes.
like to hear people who have acquired this
Hmm,
knowledge,
hmm,
practice it,
hmm,
and making waves.
hmm, hmm.
That is all that I will share today. Thank you
Thank you
very much for
so
your
much.
audience. And Sheila, thank you so much for having me on the program. I'm most grateful.
It's a pleasure. It's a blessing to have you, Prof. And we are happy we will continue to be back to learn more from you. Hopefully next week or next 2 weeks. I know we have some program in our church, so we may not be able to come this Saturday. We will let you know. I'm sure next Saturday, the next one, I think the 13th of November. So we'll post the flyer and you will know. So God bless you. Please share and encourage your friends to subscribe to our channel. We want to get 1,000 subscribers before the end of this year. I know it's possible. It's possible. So help us. And thank you all. God bless you. God bless you, Dr. Otoo. I said doctor. I used to call him doctor. So I'm always tempted to go back and say doctor, and then prophet, Prof Otoo. So thank you all. We love you all. God bless you. We will see you another time. Thank you and Bye.
Bye.